Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show. And today the question is it too late to buy? Is it too late to buy? Well, of course the answer is no, but buying the right stocks or crypto at the right times is important. You don't want to FOMO in and get burned. We're going to talk about that and a whole bunch more. Before you do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people, and of course does help support the channel. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to get these daily updates. So first and foremost, if you watched yesterday's video, I shared 3 trades that I'm taking. And the last time I did a 3 trades I'm taking video, those 3 trades all shot up. And what happened? I think I'm going to have to do this on a weekly basis. The 3 trades I'm taking was absolutely fantastic, and we'll talk about those trades in a moment. But first of all, let's talk about Bitcoin. And yesterday, I gave an entry for Bitcoin at around this level here, where it broke through the wedge here that we have here. But the wedge that I identified, and I gave a technical target. What did I give that technical target to? Was 117,900. What did price get to? 118,000. And so pretty much nailed that target pretty much to the button. It went a little bit high. You got a little bit of a bonus out of that trade. That all happened just within the last day and a half, we saw that move. If you'd taken that trade when I gave it on the show, and in fact, it wasn't just yesterday, I had given that trade for several days on the show and also on the Discord, that's ended up to be correct. Now the inverse head and shoulders on the weekly time frame is active. It is active, and the technical target there is 145,000. You can see how well that target that I gave you yesterday worked out. And so let's see if this one works out, $145,000. You can see how quickly Bitcoin can move, and look what happened there. I don't think it's going to go up in $5,000, $6,000 candles every day. It would be nice, of course, that if it does. Now, of course, the total altcoin market that I showed yesterday, that's absolutely ripped. And you can see the Tribal Trades indicator, one indicator to rule them all, went parabolic. And of course, what we saw is we're going to see a golden cross quite certainly, unless we saw some kind of a collapse here. We're going to see a golden cross on the altcoin market. I don't think we're finished. This has only been going since the 23rd of June. So the signal went off on the 23rd of June. And then the second place I teach to enter is around the 9 a.m. on daily when it crosses. And then when the 9 crosses the 20 is the third place you add to the trade. Firstly here, of course, the Tribal Trade indicator gets you in at the lowest and also gets you out the earliest. So it gets you in the earliest. Then you can take a second trade here and a third trade here. And that's what we did on those trades. The 3 trades that I gave were Tau, Sui, and Solana. Now, let's have a look at those trades and let's talk about possibilities of where to possibly get in the trade. Now, Bitcoin wouldn't be buying now. There's no trade there at the moment for Bitcoin, unless you want to trade it on the hourly time frame just to get in and out. Then, of course, you can take the trade beautifully off the 9 EMA on the hour, although we have lost that level, so there wouldn't be a trade there. But you can see how beautifully it's respected the 9 EMA on the 1 hour. You could have traded that all the way up just using the 9 EMA on the 1 hour, actually. So if you're a day trader or a short-term trader, and just want to get in and out of a trade, the 9 EMA on the 1 hour is great there. But if you're a longer term, you don't have time to watch the trades, the daily time frame is the way. And right now there's no trade there. Maybe take profit. We may get a little bit of bearish reversal pattern at some point there. That's the possibilities. What shakes out there to see whether we get a bearish reversal pattern or not. It has gone into the overbought territory. Of course, last time we went into overbought, it didn't pull back by much. We'll see what happens there. But I wouldn't be surprised if we had a little bit of a cool off. And then it'll be interesting to see what happens on the weekend. So let's look at Tau. That was one I gave at $350 at the 9 EMA. On the daily there, you can see it there. We have a WW bottom, that pattern that I showed you about, and that move to the top was 400, and that has absolutely nailed that move too. So you took that trade, that I gave yesterday, 350 to 400, you've made a lot of money on that trade. We've got some rejection there. It's also an overbought territory. We don't have a bearish reversal signal pattern theory. If you're in a trade, you could stay in it. Now, where would be the entry? Well, I think there's some other opportunities here. But the 200 is at 374, the 200 EMA on the daily, and then there is a support there at 377 and 40 cents could be a possibility. But the one I do want to look at, this is the weekly one here, would be 386. About 386, 387 actually would be one there that I would look at, possibly an entry there if you're looking again. As long as that holds, of course. If it just melts down through it, then don't take the trade. But that would be a possible re-entry there at 387.1. And of course, as always, you can always take the trade off the 1 hour. Look how the 1 hour time frame on the 9 EMA has done so well, and they're a nice of 390. So if you took that trade on 390, you'd already be up quite nicely on that. So I'll give 2 trades on each. One is for the day, the longer term investors. I just gave some entry levels there for Dow, and then on the 1 hour, I just gave some, which was just happened just there at 390. Now, of course, if it went through there and didn't come back up and close the candle below there, you wouldn't get in the trade. Or of course, if you did get in the trade and then this ends up closing, you could stop out of the trade. Okay, the other trade that I gave was SUI. Now, I actually gave the SUI trade in the Discord first in a live session at $2.95. We did this one live at $2.95 right here on Wednesday at lunchtime at 12 o'clock. We had that live session with the Discord. We all took that trade at $2.95. Look, it took off like an absolute rocket ship. Now, the good thing about SUI is that it's in a technical target. So Bitcoin had a technical target and is in a target for the inverse head and shoulders. It has an inverse head and shoulders on the daily, and I identified that target at about $3.88. So let's see if it can get up there. It did get rejected at our first target that I gave, which was at about 359. Perfect rejection there off the Fibonacci. You can see here how it had broke down from this level, and this was an obvious place that was going to find some resistance. Now, looking for other levels for the trade here would be, if we're looking for possible entries on SUI, would be, it's quite a way, but $3.40. Let's have a look here. Usually it's the 9 EMA. That's a long way away. Right now, I would say possibly this $3.34 would be, and a little bit low at $3.28. So those would be my 2 entries for if you're a longer term investor. And here's the deal. If you took my trade over the last couple of days, you would be up heavily anyway. But this is it a too late to buy video? So I'm assuming people may have missed the trade or want to add to the trade. If you're a shorter term investor, the 1 hour 9 EMA, we'll have a look at that level. Now, remember, you might get in on this level. You can see how beautifully it's governed price. You've gotten in multiple times on the 9 EMA. So there's an entry right now on SUI at $3.52. So if it holds at $3.52, you do have some resistance there at $3.59. So if it rejects there, you may want to get out of that trade, or if it loses that level, you would want to get out of that trade there. And there's the 20 EMA on the 1 hour at 347. So that's a secondary entry there. So those are a couple of entries there. But you could have gotten 1 hour and intended for it to be a short-term trade. But when it just keeps moving and going up, you just stay in the trade. So there's an entry there, although it might lose that area. Just keep an eye on that $3.52 for SUI. And then the last one that we had talked about was Solana. And Solana, I gave it that 154 breakout level. Let's look at the shorter time frame first. I'll give you a short-term target and for entries, and I'll give you the longer-term target as well. And there's always people that want to add to the trade as well, so even if you're in these trades. But of course, right now we've lost the 200-day moving average, and we're at the 20 EMA on the hourly. There's a trade there if that holds, but then you've got to hope that it breaks through the 200-day and the 9 EMA on the hourly, both at around the same level, 64. I wouldn't take the trade here. I would wait for a break of the 9 EMA at 164. There would be a trade there for me, a break and a hold of that level. And then, of course, on the daily time frame, if you're a longer-term investor, again, I would be more inclined to take a trade on the break and the hold of that 164 level. But if we were to pull back further, at 159 level would be an area if that area were to hold. Now, the trade that I given was at 154, which was where the 50-day moving average is. There's the inverse head and shoulders pattern that's there. You can see that on the daily time frame there, and the technical target for that is $188 up there. You can see the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder there, and the technical target of 188. Let's see if it can get up there. The 50-week moving average at 168 with some strong resistance there. People are cashing in, taking profits. That's normal for a bit of a pause there. So I gave Sui at $2.95. I gave Tau at $3.50. And I gave Sui, Tau, and I gave Solana at 154. All three trades absolutely cooked yesterday. And of course, the Bitcoin trade that I gave with the first target to 117 absolutely cooked as well. So even though there were three trades I was taking, the fourth trade, Bitcoin, which I was already in, actually there. So I don't have any bearish reversal patterns at the moment. There are no red dots or red arrows. So those trades are all good for now. Of course, taking profits is fine and looking to get back in, or just setting a stop loss there so that you lock in your profits in case there is some kind of a pullback or drawback on those trades. Now, of course, the tribal trades indicator, and here's the thing, those three trades that I gave on YouTube, I give trade like that every single day in the Discord, both in the stock section and in the crypto, usually more than three. In the stock section, I usually give about 5 or 6 of these trades, and you can see how much money people are making in the Discord as a result of these plays and this education I'm giving. Trades, just huge amounts of money are being made there. You can see April Parker with more, $1,000 there just in trades, actually more than that. They're like about $1,500 worth of trade. She took all of my 4 trades that I gave, and she took one of Josh's trades from Stocks with Josh. Absolutely fantastic there. Then the Tau trade there, you can see cashing in. Here we go. Thanks, Mark. The Sui trade cashing in there. Joe, Zacho cashing in on Ondo, Sui. Lots of Sui there, by the way. Tau, Sui, Solana. Tau Hype was actually the other one that I didn't give on the YouTube channel that I gave in the Discord. Love this here. What's this new? Had to do a quick thank you for teaching us how to make money both ways. There you go. So people are making money short and long. I mean, this just keeps going, guys. This is just yesterday, the enormous amount of trades and money that was made. Just it pays. I got to jump to the bottom. This will just go on forever. I've got to go all the way down. This is just today as well. Fantastic trades that we gave today. Absolutely fantastic. Well done to everybody in there. Now, of course, the Discord is closed. However, you can get on the wait list for it. There is a link below in the description of this video where the top link there, you can join the wait list of the Tribal Trades Discord. When you sign up on the wait list, you don't get charged. Your card doesn't get charged. You're just holding your position in the wait list. So when the spots open up, you'll be one of the first people to obtain one of those spots. When we open up the Discord again at some point in the future, we will be doing that. But of course, you could get earlier access as well, because if there are anybody that doesn't renew or pay their subscription and drop out, then we will just take people. The next people in the wait list will jump into the Discord. And I will say that any Stocks with Josh fam, you are VIP. And I had this question yesterday in the Stocks with Josh Discord, wanting to also join the Tribal Trades Discord. Stocks with Josh fam are always welcome. You just sign up on the wait list and send me a message that you're in the Stocks with Josh Discord. I'll check that you're in the Stocks with Josh Discord. And once I've verified that, you will be added to the Tribal Trades Discord. So the Stocks with Josh family have been an incredible supporter of the Tribal Trades community. I'm also in the Stocks with Josh Discord as well as a Crown Trader in there. And if you're not part of that Discord, there is also links below in the description of this video as well. Well, that's all I have time for today. And of course, until the next episode, or until I see you in the Discord, happy trading.